The internet streets are on fire once again, and this time, it's all thanks to none other than Tasha K, the queen of controversy herself. Just when fans thought the love and hip-hop universe couldn't possibly deliver another bombshell, Tasha storms in with receipts that leave everyone speechless. Picture this. She goes live, that familiar fiery tone in her voice, eyes locked on the camera, and she drops the kind of news that makes timelines explode. Y'all, Jasmine Dunn had another baby. And guess who the father is? The chat goes wild. Comments fly faster than she can even read them. And the suspense is so thick you could slice it with a knife. Then she says it, it's Kirk's. Again, gasps, disbelief, emojis flooding the screen. Fans are already typing. No way. Not again. Didn't we go through this already? The messy history between Kirk, Jasmine, and Rashida has been reality TV gold for years, but this revelation reopens old wounds like they were never healed. Think about it, Rashida standing strong for so long, trying to rebuild trust after the first scandal, only to have Tasha K bring the past crashing back in the most brutal way. The internet is buzzing, group chats are lighting up, and every fan page is dissecting every word Tasha said. Was she exaggerating? Was she exposing the ultimate truth? Or was this just another setup for the kind of drama that makes headlines for months? Whatever the case, one thing is clear. This isn't just a story, this is the beginning of a full-on storm that's about to shake the Frost family, Jasmine's world, and every single fan who thought they'd seen it all. Buckle up, because this revelation is about to change everything. It all started with whispers, the kind of late-night rumors that usually get dismissed as fan gossip, until someone bold enough decides to put it under a spotlight. And when it comes to dragging secrets out into the open, there's no one bolder than Tasha K. Her live streams are infamous, her tone unapologetic, and her choice of words always raised. That night, as fans were casually scrolling through their feeds, her notification popped up. I got something y'all ain't ready for. The numbers climbed, viewers pouring in by the thousands, and within minutes, she dropped the kind of revelation that would once again turn the Frost family's world upside down. Jasmine just had a new baby. And y'all know who the daddy is. Don't play dumb, it's Kirk again. The chat exploded in disbelief. Some begged her to stop lying, others begged her to show proof, and a few even wrote, "Poor Rashida can't catch a break." The comments scrolled so fast it was impossible to keep up, but Tasha leaned back, sipping her wine like she had all night to let the chaos sink in. The moment her words hit the internet, shockwaves tore through the love and hip-hop community. Fans remembered the first time Jasmine popped up with news that Kirk was the father of her child. A moment that nearly destroyed Rashida's marriage. Back then, the Frosts went through therapy sessions, arguments on camera, and years of public humiliation, all in front of millions of viewers. Rashida, the epitome of strength and grace, chose to stay by Kirk's side, rebuilding what many thought was beyond repair. But now, with Tasha K screaming from the rooftops that Kirk may have repeated history with Jasmine, it felt like the whole story had come full circle in the ugliest way possible. The betrayal wasn't just fresh, it was bleeding all over again. Behind the scenes, those close to Rashida say she found out at the same time as the rest of the world. Imagine being blindsided by a notification, seeing your husband's name trending on Twitter, not for a business move or a music project, but for another baby scandal. Sources say Rashida sat frozen for a moment, phone in hand, as fans messaged her non-stop, asking for the truth. One friend described the scene, saying, her mascara was running, her hands were shaking, and she just kept asking, why now? Why again? The heartbreak was palpable, and even though Rashida had been through storms before, this particular one felt crueler than ever, because it came after so many years of trying to move forward. Meanwhile, Jasmine herself has stayed silent on her social media. Her Instagram, usually filled with filtered selfies and little glimpses of her life, suddenly went dark. No captions, no stories, no updates, just silence. And for fans, silence speaks volumes. Was she hiding because she knew the backlash was coming, or was she preparing her own dramatic reveal with pictures, timelines, and details that could either prove or disprove Tasha's explosive claims? The mystery only fueled speculation further, and every gossip site, every fan page, and every podcast episode dedicated itself to unraveling this twisted mess. One thing was certain. No one could stay neutral. You were either on Rashida's side, shaking your head in sympathy, or convinced Jasmine was about to drop receipts that would leave Kirk with no place to hide. Of course, Kirk himself couldn't escape the heat. Cameras reportedly caught him leaving his studio late at night, face hidden under a hoodie, refusing to answer questions from paparazzi. His silence only made things worse. Fans speculated. If it wasn't true, he'd deny it right away. But no denial came. Instead, whispers grew louder that even his own family had begun to ask questions. Relatives close to the Frosts allegedly demanded Kirk take another DNA test, insisting that they couldn't go through another round of lies and deceit. The image of him standing in that clinic once again, swabbing his cheek under the harsh white lights, became a haunting reminder of a past scandal that fans thought was buried but never really forgotten. Inside their home, Rashida and Kirk reportedly had one of the most explosive arguments in years. Imagine the tension, Rashida pacing back and forth, voice raised with the kind of pain only betrayal can bring, while Kirk sat slumped on the edge of the bed, trying to find words that would calm the storm. "Tell me it's not true, Kirk. Look me in the eye and say it's not true." Her voice cracked, heavy with anger and sorrow. But Kirk, always the master of deflection, responded with frustration instead of clarity. "Why do you always believe them before you believe me? You know how people love to drag my name?" But this time, Rashida wasn't falling for excuses. "Don't you dare flip this on me," she snapped, her hand slamming against the dresser. "This isn't about rumors, this is about patterns. You swore it would never happen again. And here we are." The fight was so heated that neighbors claimed they could hear raised voices from outside. Some even said they saw Rashida leave the house that night, still in her robe, clutching her phone, tears streaking down her face. She reportedly drove around for hours, avoiding calls, avoiding cameras, avoiding everything that tied her to the man who once again had her at the center of a storm she never asked for. And while she sought solace in the quiet of her car, the internet was busy turning her pain into headlines. Memes flooded timelines, fans debated endlessly, and clips of Tasha K's livestream were reposted on every platform imaginable. It wasn't just a scandal anymore, it was an event. The kind that dominates reality TV conversations for months. Meanwhile, friends of Jasmine allegedly tried to defend her, claiming the baby's paternity wasn't as clear-cut as people thought. "She's not out here saying it's Kirk's," one insider whispered, but she's not denying it either. She knows the speculation is wild, and she's letting it play out. For Jasmine, staying silent was a move straight out of the reality TV playbook because silence keeps people talking, and talking keeps her relevant. And deep down, maybe that's what this was about. Staying relevant in a world where drama equals opportunity. But at what cost? Fans were ruthless in their criticism, slamming her as toxic, obsessed, and messy beyond repair. Even within the Love and Hip Hop cast, sides were being taken. Some cast members were quick to post cryptic messages online. One wrote, "Some people never learn," while another posted a shady meme about repeating mistakes. Fans immediately assumed these were aimed at Kirk and Jasmine, adding more fuel to the fire. It became clear that this wasn't just gossip, was spilling into real relationships, real friendships, and even the future of the show itself. Because let's be real, a scandal of this magnitude isn't just personal, it's business. Producers were rumored to already be circling, planning how to capture the fallout for maximum ratings. Imagine the cameras zooming in on Rashida's face as she confronts Jasmine, the dramatic music swelling as Kirk struggles to explain himself. It was the kind of drama that executives dream about, even if it left the cast in shambles. But beneath all the noise, one question haunted fans the most. Could Rashida really go through this again? She had already been painted as the long-suffering wife who forgave the unforgivable once. Could she do it twice without losing herself in the process? Or would this finally be the breaking point, the moment she stood up, walked away, and left Kirk to deal with the consequences of his choices? The uncertainty was agonizing, and fans couldn't stop speculating. Some prayed for her strength, others demanded she leave him once and for all. And a few cynically suggested she'd stay because drama always keeps the cameras rolling. The night ended with Rashida reportedly locking herself in the bedroom, refusing to speak to anyone, while Kirk sat alone in the living room, scrolling through his phone as the world tore him apart online. Outside, paparazzi cars lined the street, waiting for the first glimpse of a broken marriage. Inside, the Frost household sat on the edge of implosion, with every whispered word threatening to shatter what little peace remained. And as dawn broke, fans woke up to find Tasha K trending again, teasing that she had more details and more proof to share in her next stream. The cliffhanger wasn't just for Rashida, it was for all of us. Because if Tasha was telling the truth, This scandal had only just begun. By morning, the entire city was buzzing with the news, and Rashida could no longer hide from the storm. Her phone wouldn't stop ringing. Every blog was using her face in their thumbnails. And even casual acquaintances were sending her stay strong messages like she had already been defeated. The betrayal stung, but what cut deeper was the humiliation of having to relive the same nightmare in front of the world all over again. In the Frost household, tension hung in the air like smoke after a fire. Rashida barely spoke to Kirk, only offering short, icy replies when necessary. He tried to act normal, making coffee, fiddling with his phone, pretending not to notice the way she looked at him with suspicion etched across her face. But she couldn't hold back forever, and when the cameras weren't around, her voice cracked. With fury, "You've turned me into a fool twice. Kirk, twice. Do you understand how that feels?" He tried to respond, but his words faltered, and the silence between them said more than any denial ever could. Meanwhile, Jasmine's silence only intensified the speculation. Paparazzi managed to snap blurry pictures of her leaving a clinic, carrying what appeared to be baby supplies. The images immediately went viral, with captions like "The receipts are here" and "Caught in the act." Fans dissected every pixel, zooming in on her expression, on the bag in her hand, on the oversized hoodie she wore. Was she hiding a postpartum body? Was she carrying evidence that the rumors were true? The internet turned into a jury, each user eager to declare their own verdict. Some claimed Jasmine was the victim of lies, dragged through the mud by a gossip machine she couldn't control. Others called her manipulative, accusing her of chasing clout at the expense of destroying another woman's marriage. The polarization was fierce, and it seemed as though the entire fanbase had been split in half: Team Rashida versus Team Jasmine, with Kirk stuck miserably in the middle. And then came the twist no one saw coming. Tasha K went live again, this time with what she claimed were exclusive text messages between Kirk and Jasmine. On the screen, blurry screenshots appeared, showing what looked like late-night conversations. One read, "I'll handle it, just don't say anything yet," while another had Jasmine allegedly writing, "She's going to find out eventually." The audience gasped. The comments flew off the charts, and the words "exposed" and "receipts" trended instantly. Kirk's name once again shot to the top of trending lists, and Rashida's supporters flooded her social media with comments urging her to leave him once and for all. "Sis, enough is enough," one wrote. Another commented, "We love you but you deserve better." The pity, the outrage, the judgment, it all collided into a digital tidal wave Rashida had no choice but to drown in. Behind closed doors, things got even messier. Rashida reportedly called a family meeting, demanding Kirk face his children and explain himself. Imagine the heartbreak of sitting at a dining room table with your kids staring at their father, waiting for answers. Sources claimed one of the children asked point-blank, "Is it true, Dad? Did you have another baby?" The room went silent, and Kirk's inability to respond only deepened the wound. For Rashida, this wasn't just about betrayal, it was about the example being set for their family, the message it sent about loyalty, respect, and honesty. The fight that followed was said to be brutal, with Rashida's voice trembling as she yelled, "You've embarrassed me in front of the world. But now you've embarrassed yourself in front of your own children. How do you come back from that?" On the other side of town, Jasmine was allegedly feeling the heat in her own circle. Friends distanced themselves, wary of being dragged into the scandal, while others urged her to make a statement before things spiraled out of control. "If it's not Kirk's baby, then say it," one insider claimed to have told her, but Jasmine refused, keeping her cards close to her chest. Her silence wasn't just mysterious, it was calculated, and fans knew it, because in the world of reality TV, silence keeps you trending longer than denial ever could. Every day she stayed quiet was another day her name stayed on everyone's lips, another day she remained the center of attention. And though fans dragged her mercilessly, the spotlight she created was undeniable. Even producers of Love and Hip Hop reportedly scrambled behind the scenes, sensing the perfect storyline falling into their laps. Meetings were held, schedules shifted, and contracts whispered about. The prospect of having Rashida, Kirk, and Jasmine face each other once again on camera had the potential to become the most watched storyline in franchise history. Imagine the promos: Rashida walking into a room with fire in her eyes, Kirk shifting uncomfortably in his seat, Jasmine staring down the floor while producers let the cameras roll. The tension, the awkward silence, the potential explosions, it was all ratings gold. And everyone knew that if Rashida agreed to film, It would become the ultimate showdown, one that could either save or finally end her marriage once and for all. But Rashida wasn't thinking about TV contracts. She was thinking about her heart. Friends say she retreated into herself, confiding only in a small circle of trusted allies. She reportedly spent hours talking to her mother, who begged her to protect her peace above all else. "You've been strong for too long," her mother allegedly said. "It's time to think about you." For Rashida, the choice wasn't easy. Leaving Kirk meant ending decades of history, tearing apart the brand they had built together, and risking the image of unity she had tried to preserve. But staying meant enduring more whispers, more judgment, and perhaps another betrayal in the future. Either way, the weight on her shoulders was crushing. Kirk, on the other hand, played the role he always did, half defensive, half apologetic, never giving a clear answer but always begging for another chance. "We've been through worse," he reportedly told Rashida one night. "Don't let them win. Don't let people who don't know us decide our future." His words might have comforted her once, but now they sounded hollow. Because deep down, Rashida knew this wasn't about them. It was about him, about choices he made and consequences she had to live with. And no matter how many times he tried to convince her otherwise, the truth lingered in the air, like smoke after a fire. As days passed, the pressure only intensified. Tasha K teased that she had even more proof, hinting at photos, timelines, and maybe even a birth certificate that could tie Kirk definitively to the new baby. Fans waited eagerly, refreshing her pages, desperate for the next bombshell. Meanwhile, Rashida's followers sent her messages of encouragement, calling her a queen, a survivor, a role model for women everywhere. But no amount of flattery could erase the sting of betrayal. She was once again caught in a storyline she never asked for. Forced to play the role of the strong wife holding it together while the world laughed, judged, and speculated about her pain. One night, in a rare move, Rashida finally posted on Instagram a simple black background with white letters that read, "Enough." No caption, no hashtags, no explanation. Just one word that sent fans spiraling. Was she talking about the rumors? Was she done with Kirk? Was she done with the constant scrutiny? The ambiguity made the post go viral instantly, with fans filling the comments section with speculation. "Sis finally woke up," one wrote. Another said, "This feels like goodbye." Within an hour, thousands of comments poured in, and Rashida's name once again dominated the trending lists. But if Rashida thought one word would quiet the storm, she was wrong, because, as the dust seemed to settle for just a moment, new whispers emerged, claims that Jasmine was preparing her own bombshell statement. One that could either clear her name or destroy the Frosts once and for all. And as the sun rose the next morning, fans braced themselves for the possibility that the drama had only reached its midpoint. Because if Jasmine spoke, the entire narrative could change in an instant. And the world would once again be left gasping at the chaos. The morning after Rashida's cryptic post, the entire fanbase was on edge. Everyone was waiting for Jasmine to finally break her silence, and sure enough, she did. Without warning, she went live on Instagram, her face half hidden behind oversized sunglasses, voice shaking but laced with defiance. Thousands of people joined within seconds, comments flying so fast they blurred across the screen. Jasmine sat in silence for a moment, letting the anticipation build, then leaned into the camera. "I'm tired of y'all acting like I'm the only villain in this story," she said. "I didn't make this baby alone." The chat exploded, fans spamming the words "confirm" and "expose him." She didn't say Kirk's name outright, but she didn't have to. The implication was heavy, the dagger sharp. Every pause, every tear she fought to hold back only fueled the drama. "You think I wanted this? You think I asked for this? Y'all don't know half of it." And then, before she could say more, she abruptly ended the live, leaving fans hungry, furious, and more divided than ever. That single live stream sent shockwaves through the internet. Within minutes, blogs were reposting the clip, headlines screamed, "Jasmine speaks, new baby confirmed," and fan pages lit up with debates. Some argued she was manipulating the narrative, playing the victim when she knew exactly what she was doing. Others sympathized, saying she was dragged into a toxic cycle with Kirk that she couldn't escape. But the real fallout landed on Rashida, because now, the world wasn't just speculating, it was convinced. And if Jasmine's words were true, it meant Kirk had lied once again, undoing every ounce of trust Rashida had fought to rebuild over the years. Inside the Frost home, the tension had escalated into something unbearable. Rashida, already humiliated, now had to deal with the fact that Jasmine herself had seemingly confirmed what Tasha K had been saying all along. According to insiders, that night was one of the ugliest confrontations in their marriage's history. Rashida, shaking with rage, screamed across the living room. She just admitted it. Do you hear yourself, Kirk? She's out there telling the whole world you're the father, and you sit here acting like this is nothing. Kirk, his voice low but defensive, shot back. She didn't say my name. She's stirring the pot, that's all. You gonna believe her over me? Again, Rashida's reply cut like a knife. I'm not believing her, I'm believing history. Because history don't lie, and you've done this before. Their shouting match allegedly lasted hours, with Rashida threatening to leave, Kirk begging her to stay, and both accusing each other of caring more about their image than their marriage. At one point, Rashida reportedly threw a glass across the room, shattering it against the wall, yelling, "I can't keep cleaning up your messes." The image of her tears streaming down her face, standing over shards of glass, became the unspoken metaphor of their entire relationship, broken, sharp, and dangerous to hold on to. Meanwhile, Jasmine's livestream had created chaos within her own circle too. Friends who had been silently supporting her urged her to stay quiet again, worried the backlash would get even uglier. But others pushed her to double down, to drop undeniable proof that Kirk was indeed the father, and whispers began to spread that Jasmine had more than just words. She had pictures, hospital records, maybe even messages that directly tied Kirk to the baby. The mere possibility of receipts was enough to send fans spiraling. What if she actually showed them? What if she pulled out a birth certificate on live? The suspense was unbearable. And then, like pouring gasoline on an already raging fire, Tasha K teased that she had been in contact with someone close to Jasmine. "Oh, I told y'all I wasn't done," she said in her next video, smirking into the camera. "The tea I'm about to spill will make you choke. Y'all think you know the story. Nah, you don't know half of it." She leaned closer, lowering her voice for effect. "This baby, this ain't just about Kirk and Jasmine. There's more. There's always more." The audience went insane, begging her to share, speculating wildly about what she meant. Was she implying there was another man? Another betrayal? Or was she hinting at a cover-up that had been going on for months? Whatever the case, she had fans exactly where she wanted them, glued to her every word, waiting for the next jaw-dropping reveal. In the Frost household, Rashida's patience was running out. Sources say she packed a bag one night and actually left for her mother's house, telling Kirk she needed space before she said something she couldn't take back. The sight of her walking out with her suitcase reportedly left Kirk in tears, begging her not to give up on them. But Rashida was done pretending. "I can't breathe in this house anymore," she allegedly said before slamming the door. For fans, the image of Rashida leaving was symbolic proof that maybe, just maybe, this time she was truly finished with Kirk for good. While all this played out, the Love and Hip Hop cast couldn't resist jumping in. Carly Red allegedly went live laughing with a glass of champagne in her hand, saying, "Chilly, it ain't never a dull moment in Atlanta." Sierra posted a cryptic story that read, "What's done in the dark always comes to light." And Young Jock couldn't resist shading Kirk during a club appearance, grabbing the mic and joking, "My pullout game's stronger than my boy Kirk's." The crowd roared with laughter, but for Kirk, the humiliation was unbearable. His friends turning his scandal into a punchline only deepened the wound and fueled his desperation to regain control of the narrative. Producers, of course, were salivating. Rumors swirled that emergency filming was already underway, cameras rushing to capture the fallout in real. One insider claimed producers were plotting a dramatic sit-down between Rashida, Kirk, and Jasmine, promising it would be the most explosive reunion episode in franchise history. Fans imagined it already. Rashida in all black, stone-faced, and ready for war. Jasmine defensive but determined. Kirk sweating bullets under the lights as the truth unraveled. The prospect of that moment kept the internet on fire, everyone speculating about whether Rashida would even agree to sit in the same room as Jasmine again. But just when the world thought the drama couldn't possibly escalate further, another twist hit the headlines. A blurry photo surfaced online, allegedly showing Kirk holding the new baby at a private gathering. The picture was grainy, taken from a distance, but the resemblance between Kirk and the infant sent fans spiraling into a frenzy. "That's his nose," one commenter wrote. Another declared, "Game over, he's the daddy." The image spread like wildfire, and though no one could confirm its authenticity, the damage was done. Kirk's denial no longer mattered. The court of public opinion had already declared him guilty. Rashida, upon seeing the photo, reportedly broke down. Friends say she collapsed onto her bed, sobbing uncontrollably, whispering, "Why does this keep happening to me?" Her pain became the centerpiece of the entire scandal, and fans, though sympathetic, couldn't look away. The woman who had carried herself with grace through countless humiliations was once again shattered, and the world was watching every second of it unfold. Meanwhile, Jasmine remained unbothered, or at least she pretended to be. She posted a selfie the next morning, baby stroller in the background, captioned simply with a heart emoji. No explanations, no clarifications, just a quiet confirmation that the baby was very real. And the silence she maintained about Kirk only made the speculation louder. Fans flooded her comments, some calling her bold, others calling her shameless, but all acknowledging that she had officially taken control of the narrative. Because in the world of scandal, sometimes silence speaks louder than words. And Jasmine was mastering the art of letting the world tear itself apart while she stayed front and center. But Rashida's silence was different. It wasn't power, it was pain. And as the days dragged on, fans began to wonder if this was finally the end of the Frost marriage. Could Rashida forgive Kirk again? Could she survive another public humiliation? Or was this finally the moment she chose herself over the man who had broken her heart twice? The world waited with bated breath, because whatever she decided next would change everything, not just for her family, but for the entire love and hip-hop legacy. And just as the speculation reached its peak, whispers began to surface that a DNA test had already been scheduled. Fans couldn't believe it. Were they really about to relive the same storyline from years ago? The thought of Kirk walking into another clinic, swabbing his cheek, waiting for results that could destroy or redeem him, it was déjà vu in the most brutal way possible. And as the rumor spread, everyone knew the truth was coming, whether they were ready for it or not. The whispers about a DNA test weren't just rumors anymore. Word spread quickly that Kirk had indeed been spotted at a private medical clinic, baseball cap pulled low, hoodie drawn tight, trying to keep his face hidden. Paparazzi caught the blurry shots anyway, and those photos instantly lit up every blog and gossip site. Fans couldn't believe it. Not again, they wrote, dragging up the painful memories of the last time Kirk's DNA test scandal played out on national television. The cycle had repeated itself, and it was as if time had rewound to the most humiliating chapter in Rashida's life. Only this time, the stakes felt higher, the wounds deeper, the world even more unforgiving. 4 days, suspense gripped the entire fanbase. People speculated endlessly about what the test would reveal. Some swore up and down that Jasmine wouldn't dare push this narrative if Kirk wasn't the father. Others argued she was messy enough to stir up drama even if the truth wasn't on her side. Every podcast, every YouTube channel, every Twitter thread dissected the situation, dragging Kirk through the mud while praising Rashida for her strength. Hashtags like #team RASHEEDA and #Kirk did it again trended for days, each post more dramatic than the last. Everyone was waiting, holding their breath, waiting for the moment the truth would finally drop, and then it happened. The results leaked. A blog posted a blurry screenshot of what it claimed were the DNA test results, with one bold line highlighted: probability of paternity, 99.9%. Within seconds, the internet erupted like a bomb going off. Gasps, disbelief, heartbreak, outrage, couldn't even process what they were reading. Not again, one wrote. This man is a menace, another declared. Memes flooded timelines, instantly photos of Kirk with captions like "Sir, please." Old clips from Love and Hip Hop resurfaced, fans editing them side by side with Jasmine's new baby, pointing out every resemblance. It was brutal, merciless, and relentless. Inside the Frost home, the fallout was catastrophic. Rashida reportedly locked herself in the bedroom, refusing to speak to Kirk for hours. When she finally emerged, her face was streaked with tears, but her voice was steady, cold, and final. "We're done, Kirk, do you hear me? We're done." Sources close to the couple claim Kirk broke down, begging her to reconsider, insisting that despite everything, their love and history couldn't just end like this. But Rashida wasn't budging this time. "I let you embarrass me once," she reportedly told him. "I carried your shame, I fought for us, I forgave the unforgivable. But this is it. You've humiliated me for the last time." The argument escalated into what witnesses say was one of the most explosive confrontations in Love and Hip Hop history. Kirk shouting that he was being set up, Rashida screaming that the proof was undeniable. Both of them hurling accusations and pain like daggers. At one point, Rashida allegedly hurled her wedding ring across the room, the metal clinking against the floor with a sound that felt like the final nail in the coffin of their marriage. The symbolism was impossible to ignore. What was once a promise had shattered into nothing but betrayal and broken trust. Meanwhile, Jasmine was suddenly everywhere. Paparazzi followed her every move, snapping photos of her with the baby. Captions reading things like "The Frost legacy continues." She didn't need to say a word. The DNA test spoke louder than anything she could ever post. But in a shocking twist, she did eventually speak. In an interview with a gossip site, she sat down, looking tired but triumphant, and said, "I didn't want it to be this way, but I wasn't going to hide my truth anymore. I can't control how people feel about it, but the baby deserves to know who their father is." Her calm tone sent fans into overdrive, some praising her for standing in her truth, others dragging her for destroying Rashida's marriage a second time. Whatever people thought, one fact was undeniable: Jasmine had officially cemented her place in reality TV infamy. For Rashida, though, the betrayal wasn't just personal, it was public. Everywhere she went, cameras followed, fans whispered, strangers gave her sympathetic looks. She posted a photo of herself in sunglasses and a hoodie, walking through an airport with the caption, "Focused on me." The image went viral, fans dubbing it her leaving Kirk era, praising her strength and independence. Some even started calling her the Queen of Atlanta, applauding her for refusing to let the scandal define her. But Kirk wasn't ready to let go. He released a statement of his own, a rambling video posted to his Instagram where he tried to explain himself. "I made mistakes, man, but y'all don't know the whole story," he said, voice shaky. "I love my wife. I love my family. I'm not giving up on them. I know I hurt her, but I'm gonna fight to get her back." The comments were brutal. Fans flooded the post with clown emojis, calling him pathetic, toxic, and unredeemable. Some even begged Rashida in the comments, "Please don't take him back. You deserve peace." Producers, of course, were already plotting how to capture this chaos. Rumors swirled that Rashida and Kirk would both appear at the next reunion, with Jasmine scheduled to confront them live on stage. The thought of the three sitting face to face under the blinding stage lights had fans salivating. The potential for tears, shouting, walk-offs, and explosive reveals was unmatched. One insider claimed the reunion would be the most dramatic episode in franchise history, promising that nothing will be off-limits. Even the Love and Hip Hop cast couldn't resist taking sides. Carly Red allegedly told Rashida privately, "Girl, this is your glope season. Don't let him drag you down no more." Sierra publicly posted, "Some men don't deserve second chances, let alone third." And Young Jock, once again, couldn't resist making jokes during his radio show, saying, "At this point, Kirk needs a subscription card for DNA tests. Buy 2, get 1 free." The laughter from his co-hosts was loud, but the sting for Kirk was even louder. The world watched as Rashida made moves that signaled she might actually be serious about leaving this time. Sources say she began meeting with lawyers, exploring her options, and even house hunting separately. Her independence became a rallying cry for women everywhere who had ever been betrayed but found the strength to walk away. Fans flooded her comments with messages like, "You're an inspiration," and "We're rooting for your happiness." Kirk, however, continued spiraling. The more he tried to control the narrative, the worse it got. Every time he posted, the comments reminded him of his downfall. Every time he appeared in public, cameras zoomed in on his face, capturing his guilt, his brand, his reputation, his marriage, all slipping through his fingers like sand he couldn't hold on to. And no matter how hard he tried to convince himself otherwise, the reality was clear. His own actions had written this ending long before anyone else revealed it. By the time the dust began to settle, the Frosts were no longer seen as a united front. They were two people on opposite sides of a battlefield, one tired of fighting, the other desperate to keep the war from ending. Jasmine, in her own way, had won not because she had Kirk, but because she had forced the truth into the light. And in reality TV, truth, no matter how messy, is the ultimate weapon. As fans reflected on the chaos, one thing became certain: the Love and Hip Hop universe would never be the same again. The scandal had rewritten the dynamics, reshaped the alliances, and left everyone wondering what could possibly top this. And as Rashida stepped forward into a new chapter of her life, Kirk was left behind, a man defined by his mistakes. His legacy forever marked by the two words fans screamed over and over again: "Not again." And there you have it, another shocking chapter in the never-ending saga of Kirk Frost, Rashida, and Jasmine that has left fans around the world absolutely speechless. From Tasha K's jaw-dropping revelations, to Jasmine's cryptic live streams, to the DNA test that confirmed everyone's worst suspicions, this drama unfolded like the plot of a movie no one thought they'd ever see twice. And through it all, one woman stood at the center: Rashida, a queen forced once again to face humiliation in front of millions, but also a woman who showed incredible strength by refusing to let her husband's betrayal define her. The Frost marriage has been shaken to its core. Jasmine has solidified her spot in the reality TV Hall of Infamy, and Kirk is left with a reputation that may never recover. But while the truth may be out, the questions remain. Will Rashida really walk away this time, or will Kirk somehow find a way to pull her back in? Will Jasmine continue to stir the pot, or will she finally step out of the shadows and own her role in this mess? And what does this mean for the future of love and hip-hop itself? Can the franchise even top this level of chaos again? One thing is for sure, fans are watching, waiting, and bracing themselves for the next twist, because if history has taught us anything, it's that in this world, the drama never ends, it only gets messier. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think Rashida should finally leave Kirk for good, or is there still a chance they'll survive yet another scandal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story is far from over. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more shocking updates, and turn on your notifications so you never miss the next bombshell. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.